Man gunned down in Linstead. The St. Catherine North Police are probing the shooting death of a man in Linstead. Gunned down was 36-year-old Siobhan Barnes of Hampton Green in Spanish Town. It is reported that Barnes was walking along Gillett Street when he was pounced upon and shot multiple times by unknown assailants. He was assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police have not yet established a motive for Barnes' death. Police Commissioner wants effective presence. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake is urging divisional leadership of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF to target effective presence in an effort to further reduce the island's crime numbers. Writing in the force orders last week, Blake pointed out that for a violent crime to be committed, there must be somebody who is motivated enough to do so, a potential victim, and the opportunity to commit the crime. A significant objective of any operational strategy is the constraining of these opportunities, stated Blake. Our deployments, which are based on analysis of crime data and intelligence, are predominantly to do just that. However, even while we deploy to prevent, simply having presence in this space may not be sufficient. We need effective presence, added Blake. He urged that effective presence by the police is that which makes a potential offender think twice before committing a violent crime. It is that which causes his assessment to tell him that there is a high likelihood of being intercepted given your posture. Effective presence while requiring significant focus makes our job much easier because it differs crimes that we would normally have to deal with. If for 1 minute we believe that criminals do not conduct their own risk assessment, in which we feature predominantly, when deciding whether or not to act, we need to think again. Let our posture be businesslike and our presence always be effective, so we can determine the outcome of their assessments, Blake charged. The police commissioner noted that November was a challenging month for the JCF, with what he described as a number of senseless multi-victim, violent incidents and a couple of unusually high spike days. This challenged us only for a brief moment as we collectively wrap our heads around the variables at playing behind this. In doing these types of assessment, it is important that we look internally to see if we need to adjust our strategy or to simply remove any impediments to their successful implementation, added Blake. The week of November 18 to 24 was the bloodiest in the island as far this year, with 44 murders recorded. Among the frightening violent incidents last month was the killing of 6 men in 2 incidents in which a gang dispute off Wilson Park Road in St. Andrew, the shooting of 8 people, 3 fatally, on Bowens Road in St. Andrew, and the fatal shooting of 2 men in the vicinity of schools in the corporate area and Manchester, where classes were in session. Responding to the Walton Park shooting, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that the government has increased to $30 million from $25 million, a special pool of funds that will serve to reward people who come forward with information leading to the arrest of perpetrators of mass killings. The persons who commit this act, mark my word, you will be found and you will either meet a judge or meet your maker. Anyone who commits this act, the police will target you, focus on you. We will bring our investigative capabilities to bear, and we will find you and you will face justice, declared Holness during a visit to the area. At December 7, the JCF reported that major crimes were down by 14% when compared with the same period last year. Among the major crimes, the island recorded 1,085 murders, and almost 18% decline compared to the same period last year, while 955 shootings represent a 10% decline compared to the same period in 2023. Egg donor surge. With 30 patients awaiting donor eggs to aid conception, a local fertility center went on drive for donations, but was immediately overwhelmed as hundreds of Jamaican women responded. Dr. Sarifa Frederick, Clinical Director of Caribbean Fertility Center, says the country is seeing a noticeable shift in its reproduction practices as demand for Jamaican donor eggs grows. She said the fertility center hosted a drive in September to find 30 donors for 30 patients waiting for eggs to begin their procedure. To her surprise, hundreds of women turned up and applied to donate their eggs in exchange for US $2,500 or $3,000. I thought that Jamaicans were very traditional and we wouldn't get a lot, so we have been doing a lot of ads on social media, but we have hundreds of women who are reaching out to us, even via email. Our phone lines are ringing constantly. We can't even keep up because of the demand from these applicants. It has been an overwhelming experience, Dr. Frederick told reporters. We have had to cut down on the social media push because we just keep going on. Sometimes we have to put out there, okay, now, we are not taking any new persons right now. The reception is overwhelming, she stated. According to Hugh Windsor, Institute of Reproductive Health Care and Endoscopic Surgery, which operates on the grounds of the University of the West Indies, Mona, egg donation is the process of collecting eggs from a donor that are fertilized using the sperm of the intended male partner. The fertilized egg, now called an embryo, is then transferred to the recipient woman to achieve a pregnancy. The practice was developed in the 1980s initially for women with ovarian failure or premature menopause. Later, it was extended to women who carry a genetic disease, ovulating, women who appear to have issues with their eggs, and couples who fail to conceive after multiple in vitro fertilization IVF attempts. Jamaican adopted the practice in 2007. Dr. Frederick shared that the demand for eggs in Jamaica has grown particularly among women 40 to 50 years old who delays having a family until they meet the right partner or were financially stable. Due to their age, she said, it is more difficult for them to conceive, and so they are seeking alternatives. Additionally, she said there are couples who struggle with fertility issues and are requesting egg donor to make their dream of having a family possible. There are just as many women coming for donor's egg as there are for the virtual fertilization. The joining of the woman's egg and a man's sperm is a test tube or elsewhere outside the body, or even more. There are actually more requests for donor eggs. Our success rate with pregnancy in this situation is over 70%, and some situations reaching 90%, she told reporters. We have a lot of clients who are requesting it because their ovarian reserve is very low or non-existent, and so they now want to seek donor eggs. We saw that there was a need for a local market for donor eggs. Persons want to have Jamaican eggs, and so we have egg drive every now and then, where we have young persons come in and they donate their eggs, stated the clinical director. She further explained that the egg donation process is relatively simple. The target donors are women 20 to 30 years old because the younger a donor is, the more viable their eggs. The clinical director said that in some instances, the patients who receive the eggs prefer to have the donor be a university graduate or someone currently enrolled in university. However, donors who did not pursue tertiary education are also welcome, she stated. They would come in for a mirage of investigation. We would have to do psychological evaluation. We have to take their medical history. We have to examine them, and we do an ultrasound. We do a blood test to make sure that they are fertile. That's the first blood test that we do. And then we do a hormonal one, and we do vital testing, she told reporters. All of these things are general health checks, so they have the advantage of learning about their own fertility. We can pick up certain disorders that they have, and of course, if we pick up certain things, they would not be eligible, but at least they would be armed with the knowledge, she stated. When the egg donor's menstrual cycle begins, doctors stated that they are placed on a stimulation medication to help the ovaries produce egg. She explained that every month a female produces one egg, and the stimulation medication, given for about 12 days, which would help the body to produce more than one egg, the eggs would be retrieved on the 13th day. For each donor, a minimum of 12 eggs are retrieved. Women are only allowed to donate up to 3 times and must take at least 1 month break before they can go again. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.